one of the things I still need to test with the mic too is the whole like backup recording capability. Because last time I was at the gym, I went on like an 8-minute rant and none of the audio got captured because I forgot to pay attention if the mic 2 was actually connected to my Pocket 3. So I think all I have to do is hit this, there's like a record button on the side of my mic 2. So you can kind of see it right now. There's a red light. I think it's red. So that means that the mic 2 is recording the audio internally, but it's still sending the signal to the Action 4. So the Action 4 should be capturing the audio that you're hearing. And then if for some reason this audio got corrupted in the video, then I still have a backup recording in the mic 2. I guess because I have it mounted on my hat, I don't really see the lights flashing or like what light the mic 2 is showing. So unless I'm paying attention to the little green bar in the Action 4 to tell me that the mic 2 is actually connected, I don't actually know if the audio is going to the camera or not. It's not that important though, it's just a vlog. But if it was like something like a family vacation video, I'd probably be a little bit more diligent about checking my audio connection. Actually, that's a good point. Like on vacation, I don't know if I would actually take my microphones with me because it's one more accessory to have to worry about. And like I said, you run the risk of losing your audio if something goes wrong. So I would rather just use the internal mics on these cameras and understand that, you know, it's not going to be the best quality audio, but at least you're not going to have to worry about fiddling around with extra devices. I'm not sure if that was 15, but I'm tired. All right, so today's workout's going to be a bit of an interesting one. Nothing super heavy. It's going to be a chest workout to start, and then I'm going to switch over to legs after a couple different exercises. Lately, the shoulder has been a little bit sore, and one of my knees has been a little bit sore, so I'm not going to try and push it this week. My plan today for the bench press is to just do volume with 135. So I'm going to do 3 sets, and my hope is that I'll do 135 for a set of 20, and then I'll drop it down to a set of 15, and then a set of 10. But we're just going to do the warm-up here, which is always just with the bar first. Just do maybe like 3 sets of 10. We're going to load 2 45-pound plates and try and hit a set of 20 here. Okay, so we have 135 on the bar. Like I said, try and hit a set of 20. This isn't supposed to be heavyweight for me. This is supposed to be more of a volume set. You still want to use good form. It's going to be more of a touch and go as well. So we're not going to be pausing at the bottom like I showed you in a previous video. All right, 20, let's go. The next exercise was going to be incline dumbbell press for the same rep scheme. I was going to do 20, 15, 10, but I don't actually have a good place to set up my tripod for an incline dumbbell press. What I did buy from Amazon yesterday was a magnetic mount for my Action camera, so anywhere there's like a metal surface, I'll be able to stick my camera onto that. So I think that'll help a lot with being able to position the camera in better positions for these exercises. But I moved on here to chest press machine, and don't have to weight too heavy right now. We're gonna try and do 20, 15, 10 with, I don't know, it says 85 on the stack, whatever that means. Yeah guys, don't underestimate how good these volume workouts can be. You don't always have to stick with sets of 10. That's a good starting point for someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. Like, do 3 sets of 10 per exercise and pick like 3 exercises to do. But when you start getting more familiar with what you like doing in here and what works for you, I highly recommend playing around with the rep schemes. So if you're going for more of a strength workout, try and keep your reps low. Like obviously a 1 rep max is to test your absolute strength, but don't be afraid if you're trying to build strength to keep your reps in the 3 to 6 rep range. And then when you're going for something more like hypertrophy where you're trying to build muscle, play around with things like in the 8 to 12 rep range. And then if your goal is to jack up your heart rate and, you know, breathe heavy during your workouts, go upwards of 20 and 25, but lower the weight when you get there. But having said that, like if you can push heavy weight for 20 to 25 reps and like you're already decently strong, it's such a cool ability to have, to move heavy weight while you're fatigued, or to move heavy weight a lot of times. Like if you ever watch football combines, some of the tests that they do are like max bench press with 225, and some of those guys, like the linemen, they can do like 30, 40, 50 reps of the bench press at 225. And so it just like says something about how you're going to be able to perform in a 60-minute game. Not a 60-minute game, how long is it? Yeah, it's a 60-minute game. I don't know, it's just a cool test of physical ability, I think. I'll never get to that point. I tried benching 215 before, I think, and I only hit it for a couple reps, maybe like 1.5 reps before my spotter had to step in. But I was like I said, I weigh, I'm like somewhere between 140 and 150. I never really know. I'll just say I weigh like 145. But to bench 225 at that body weight is kind of unheard of. I was pretty proud of 215 that I hit, to be honest. I did have a spotter that time, so I wasn't trying to do anything unsafe. When you're testing out any kind of max lift, definitely have like a buddy with you, just in case something goes wrong. All right, guys, so we found a leg press over here. I've got 2 plates on each side. We're just hitting sets of 15 right now. And then last night I was watching the UFC with DDP and Hamza. I was eating kind of like crap while I was watching. Like I was having potato chips and bought these 7% cocktail drinks. Man, I find like eating like crap really affects your workout performance the next day. But I don't think I'm going to sacrifice any of that stuff just because I have a workout to do the next day, because this isn't a job for me. This is just fun. Like, you can't cut out everything unhealthy from your life and expect to be happy. Like, I think the people that know me probably think I live this really healthy lifestyle. And I'll be honest with you guys, the only healthy thing I do is come to the gym. Everything else in my life is pure enjoyment. Like if I was your friend, I would say keep all that stuff in your life. But I will say, if you have a goal that you're trying to hit, sometimes you need to make sacrifices to reach that goal. So if it means drinking only once a week instead of 2 or 3 times a week to lose some weight, that's just a sacrifice that you're gonna have to make. And the thing that I dislike the most is when somebody, myself included, has a goal, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary to achieve that goal. Like if I know that I want to put on some size, like some weight, I know I'm going to have to eat more calories. I know that, and I'm not doing it, so that's on me. I don't complain about that. Like I said, I weigh about 145. Ideally, I'd like to be like 165, 170 at my height, but unless I'm willing to do a proper bulk and eat more food, like force myself to eat more food, that's just not going to happen. I started working out when I was about 16. I had a pair of dumbbells that my parents owned, just 10-pound dumbbells that I would use in my room and do like curls and shoulder press with them. I didn't actually sign up for a public gym until I was 23 or 24. And the reason why I signed up was because a girl that I worked with encouraged me to go with her. And I was like, how can you say no to that? And then she moved on and stopped going to the gym. But I kept my membership and just started going by myself at that point. And it was the best decision that I've ever made to stick with it. And ever since then, I've only really been to a couple different public gyms, but around August last year, The gym that I used to go to, Good Life, they closed down in my city, so I had to make the switch to a different gym. So I've been at this one for about a year, and it's a nice gym. The people here they seem friendly, but no one really talks to each other. The other gym that I had, maybe it was because it was a bit of an older crowd. If you just notice somebody going to the gym consistently at the same time with you, it made it really easy to strike up a conversation with them. But at this one, I see people around that I recognize, but because it's a little bit younger, everyone seems like they're plugged into their devices, and it makes it feel harder to get someone's attention just to say hi or like compliment them. That's okay, but I do miss having a gym where people are a little bit more social. I mean, I guess you could say that about anywhere you go. It's always fun to be social with people. Like, I miss going to the office and just chatting with coworkers in the morning, in the lunchroom, you know, going for coffee with people. Things are a little different now. I think I've just gotten used to being on my own for most of the week. But it's still definitely nice to come out to the gym, and even if I don't end up talking to anyone, just to see familiar faces here. Anyway guys, that's gonna do it for the gym session today. Might take you guys along to hang out with the family with the FX30. But as for the workout, that's gonna do it for me.